Hello and welcome to my channel, and welcome to the Bergisches land in Germany, which is just to the east of Cologne. We are on a 10-kilometre hike today, which is quite a challenge for me because I also did a 11.5-kilometre run this morning. So a real big day for me, but really enjoying it. And this is one of my favourite regions in the local area, in the Rhineland. Very hilly, lots of lakes, and we're following the river Wupper, which meanders its way through this region and enters the River Rhine near Leverkusen, I think. And today, as we're walking around this region, I will tell you a little bit about my week, as I often do on these walks. It's been quite a big and eventful week. So I'll try and bring you up to speed with all that's been going on. And I hope you also get to see some lovely scenery. So I'll start with last weekend. And I was in England, or we were in England, trying to sort out our new home in Devon. And we actually got to meet up with my sister and her husband. And that was wonderful. I cannot believe it, but it's actually been 6 years since I last saw them. I feel really bad about that, a little bit guilty, but it was really enjoyable. We had a nice relaxing couple of hours together, and it made my weekend very special, despite all the hassle with the travelling back to Germany. So it was an exhausting weekend, but absolutely wonderful to see my sister, my little sister. Then on Monday, that was a bit more of a difficult day. I was rather tired from the travelling back to England, or back from England, and we came back home to a flat that was just full of stuff that needed to be sorted out for the next day, which I'll tell you about in a second. And yeah, I think the biggest achievement for that day was actually just getting through the day. I honestly felt very down, very depressed, very overwhelmed by all the stuff that needed to be sorted out. And honestly, I just felt like getting under the duvet and hiding away from the world. But we all, I guess most of us have days like that occasionally. And I got through it and feel much better now. And the rest of the week was much better too. So Tuesday was a very special day, I would say. We have something quite unusual in Germany, at least it's unusual for me as a British person, in that the local authority, the local council, come round twice a year to collect any kind of bulky household waste that you might wish to get rid of. So everyone puts their stuff out on the side of the streets the night before, and you see all these vans driving around trying to collect anything that might be of value. And yeah, it's a really good service. Saves you trying to get rid of stuff yourself. So we had a lot to put out. Yeah, we had a big metal filing cabinet to put out. We had an office desk, a wardrobe, and a bed settee. And this bed settee was a very well made one that we got from Porter here in Germany, and it was incredibly heavy to lift. So I asked my neighbour if he would help me, and he did, and I was so grateful to him. I felt bad about asking. I was worried he might hurt his back or something, but he insisted he's strong enough. So the two of us managed to get it out there together. And then we put some other things out. I put my office chair out there and several other things like that. And I was relieved to see it all taken away, because there was one occasion when I put a lot of stuff out and they refused to take half of it because it was the wrong type of rubbish. But they took it all. I heard the dustbin men complaining about the weight of the sofa bed, so I felt a bit guilty about that. But they took it, and I bought my lovely neighbour a 6-pack of Kolsch beer, which I hope he enjoyed because he deserved that. So really successful day. We now have a fairly empty flat for the next few weeks we're going to just be sitting on camping chairs in our living room watching the TV. So yeah. Then on Thursday I decided to go into the office. I sometimes forget how important it is to have human contact and to have some people you can talk to about some of the things that are troubling you. I mentioned that on Monday I was really struggling and overwhelmed by all these things I had to do. And I went into the office and talked to some of my colleagues about them. And they gave me some good advice. And we had some nice chats and I felt so much better. What a lovely looking place that is, eh? You see, the thing is with me is I'm a bit of a strange one. I haven't quite been able to figure myself out yet. But I am, in many ways I'm quite brave and adventurous. I do big things in life. I've not shied away from making huge changes. But then I do get troubled by little things, and this week there's just been maybe 10 little things that have been playing on my mind, keeping me awake at night. And when I sleep badly I suffer more with my mental health problems. And going into work and just chatting about these little things to some colleagues just was like releasing the valve on a pressure cooker. You know, I felt so relieved, so much happier, and so grateful for having such nice people in my life. It also reminded me how much I'm going to miss them all when I leave Germany. But yeah, silly little things like how to dispose of my electronic waste that I've accumulated over various projects at work, because I'm now going through a phase of not only emptying my flat at home but also emptying my cupboards at work, getting ready to leave. So yeah, so I was tremendously grateful to my colleagues. I would even call them friends because they were so helpful. And yeah, just silly things like going for a coffee with them and talking about these things. And they ask questions like, well, what's the worst thing that could happen in this situation? And you think, okay, yeah, perhaps the worst thing wouldn't actually be that bad, and even the worst thing is unlikely to happen. So felt great on Thursday, and went home from work, went for my little run. I think I only had to do a 30-minute run, which was about all I could manage. And then I was ready for Friday, and I always love Fridays, so that makes Thursday a good day too. Another thing I've done this week is to do with YouTube. So as you probably know, I'm quite new to all of this, maybe been doing it for 6 or 7 weeks now. And I have noticed that I am struggling to get any real engagement. I don't think I'm recognised by the algorithm yet, and maybe the kind of videos I make aren't appealing to lots of people. But for whatever reason, yeah, I feel like I'm not getting noticed yet on YouTube. I guess you have to be patient with these things, and I also need to improve the quality of my videos, so I'm not being too hard on myself. But one thing I decided to try out on my creative journey and my learning journey is making short videos. So on YouTube, for you to make a video that's categorized as a short video, you need to make it less than 1 minute. So I had a go at that. All the shortest ones I could make seem to be about 2.5 minutes long, so it seems I talk more than I think I talk. But in the end I managed to make one, and indeed it had more views than any of the long videos I've made so far. isn't that stunningly beautiful? So I think that's it now. I think those are the main highlights from my week. The countdown for leaving Germany has really begun. We only have now 1.5 months left here, and at least 2 weeks of that I'll be in England on holiday. Well, I say on holiday, doing a lot of work, moving furniture and stuff. But I hope wherever you are, you're having a good day. Thank you so much for joining me on this little hike, and I'd be most grateful, as always, if you would encourage me to keep making these videos by liking, commenting or subscribing. And yeah, take care of yourselves, and I'll talk to you again soon. Okay, thanks then, all the best, bye.